old. His name is Travis Rinker. How many of you have ever gone to a performance at the Soper Reese Theater? Okay, that's good. That's great. I was there for the first time a couple of months ago, and then when I saw a big name like Alex DeGrassi. Alex DeGrassi is an acoustic guitarist. You've heard of him? Of course, okay. And he is Travis Rinker's teacher. And so I said, well, I've got to go. So I brought my whole family, like I always do, and we went to see them. This kid is just amazing. There's so much talent that we have here in Lake County. And when I was putting this together, I thought, oh, I'll just get, my favorite, some famous person like Alex DeGrassi. But then I thought, wait a minute, there's that kid I saw locally. And that's Travis. So you can buy his album on Amazon. I'm sure it's also on iTunes. His name is Travis Rinker. I can give you his name later on. But anyway, so what is the KRT, Konocti Regional Trails? It is a vision, a dream, but I think it's very much doable. It is a series or a network of community pathways and trails all around Lake County that connect these beautiful destinations. I mean, a lot of these photographs came from Lyle Madison, another talent in Lake County. Lyle is this phenomenal wildlife photographer. He goes all over the world to Tasmania, Tanzania, all over, and Lake County. And it's kind of hard to believe that that was all here. There were places there that were photographed from Rabbit Hill, which is in Middletown. And there are places that were up, in Lower Lake, as well as on the north shore of Clear Lake. So the whole objective of Konocti Regional Trails is to provide these wonderful destinations to promote wellness in the community health, as well as to encourage a vibrant economy here, to bring visitors to Lake County so that they can enjoy all these wonderful things that we have. And I will end this by saying that, Victoria, did you know that there is a bumper sticker that says, "Keep Clear Lake green"? Yeah, I saw it on Facebook. So thanks very much.
Thank you, Gigi, for that inspiring talk and video. Is there a question for Gigi now? We'll have plenty of time at during the panel, but there may be a question now. Mike.
Okay. The talked about bike and hiking trail between this neighborhood and Middletown. What is the status? What are the prospects? What's the story?
I think the prospects are really good, being that you've got a great volunteer effort here that's being led by Bill Waite and Lana Fish. And I think they're pulling a committee together to look at the options that we have. We're looking at the west side of Highway 29 for next year, being that there are really two main landowners in that area. And so we're hoping that we can get one, in that area. So biking and equestrian as well as walking. Thanks.
Thank you again. So we'll go on to from tourism and beauty to farming. I forget if it was Inga or someone else mentioned you should really go across the road to see Frontier Farm. And so I did finally about a week and a half ago and had a wonderful discussion with a young woman, Kecia Stickney, who's our next speaker. She's just started on maybe 2 or 3 years ago here, but has done a tremendous amount of great work and has great plans for her farm. And so I think you'll be very interested in what she's doing.
I get nervous in front of people. I'm more of a farmer than I am a spokesperson, but it's funny when people come to the farm, I can't stop talking. And when I'm in front of people that I've met maybe for the first time, I get a bit nervous. But my background basically is I grew up here in Middletown, so I guess I'm a native. I've been here since I was 12. And I went to Davis with the path of agriculture. It was more headed towards animals, and somehow I ended up coming back to this area about, 4 years ago. And in the last 5 years, I've pretty much been involved in agriculture as far as like viticulture, Baxtoffer Vineyards, vineyard management in St. Helena. And I've picked up a lot of information along the way. There's a lot of overlap between viticulture and edible gardening. So I'm kind of looking for a niche market that I do think needs our attention. And I've spent the last 2 years working at the Culinary Institute for the student farm there. So that's kind of my background in edible gardening. And then of course, all the practicing you do on your own. So this year we basically opened up for the first time to the public. And we built a little house there off the highway. It's the little it's my empire of sheds, the little green buildings. And we try to spruce them up and make them look nice so that, everyone has something pleasant to look at from the road. But we also added a garden this year, and it's been really good for, I think, everybody. I pretty much spent the last few years just asking people, what do you think if we did this? And, I think that's the best way to find out how you're going to do is to basically talk to the people that are going to be the ones to support what you're heading out to do. So everyone said that would be great, and everybody has shown up. It's been really great. I'm down to just green tomatoes, so if anybody's interested, that's about all I have. But I heard if you put them under your bed by Christmas, some of them might turn red. So I've heard it from a few people. I'm going to try it out this year because I'll be desperate for red tomatoes around December. Yeah, paper bags. Yeah. Exactly, and then you can use the green tomatoes for relish too. I've had a couple people do that. So yeah, that's basically just the start right now. Basically what I have found, not just living here, but in a lot of places, is that in order to eat healthy and organic, people have to spend a lot of money. And I don't think that's the way it should be. I think that it should be affordable. There shouldn't be any separation based on income, on what you can actually consume, how well it tastes, and how good it is for you. And so I think cutting out the middleman is the best way to do that. I just think you should go right from the farm, right to your table. And that's basically the movement that we've been hearing about, and it started in the Bay Area, and it's kind of started to come back, I think, like into the countryside now. And we have a perfect place for it. Lake County has a really nice climate. We're situated right next to Puda Creek, so there's a lot of soils out here that aren't always great for farming, but the fact that we're near a creek, we have alluvial soils that everything just seems to grow, and I'm really happy about that. So I want to keep doing this. It's about being fresh, it's about being local, affordable, and sustainable. So we're really trying to branch out into doing things like attracting the bees and, like not spraying, keeping everything really safe for the environment, and creating like an ecosystem. Farm fresh eggs. I mean, I could go on. You guys don't want to hear everything I have to say, but it could be a very long list. So basically, we have great weather, great soil. We have a very large community in a very small area, considering the demographic of the rest of, the county. I mean, people are spread out here. We have just this huge community, both Middletown as well as Hidden Valley, and I think that it could do really well. So basically, for now, we're going to keep on growing the garden, hopefully get into winter crops. It's kind of new to me as far as the winter crops in Lake County because it gets really cold up here, but we're going to try and find some really hardy plants that are going to be happy up here during the frost. And in the future, we'd like to continue with the farm-to-table idea, being that we're on the highway. I think it'd be a great place to do, this is just my vision, is to basically do a farm-to-table, like a pizza oven, beer garden, bring in the musicians that you had talked about, because we do have, I think it would be really cool to have a gathering place out here, especially the warm months when everybody wants a nice place to hang out, some good food, and some good company. So, I don't know, it was a little tough just being in Lake County, coming back. Sometimes you're like, well, it's like there's not a lot of people that, have gone out, and, a lot of my friends, it's like they haven't really traveled too much, and I'm like, I gotta find some cool people. And just having that farm has really brought out the best people in this community. Like, I didn't have to go looking for them, they came to me, and it's just been great. Like, it makes me feel a lot better about living up here, is all the people that have come out here. I'm just, like, really pleased with the community. So, I hope to basically grow and be able to offer something to everyone, and And I think it's going to be just a great experience, you know? It's something good for pretty much everyone, you know, of all ages. So that's my plan, and I hope to see you out there. Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
So, Kecia, is there any questions for Kecia before we have an opportunity to talk about what she's discussed during the panel? I'll just, yes.
Did I hear eggs?
Yeah. Yeah, we want to do farm fresh eggs out there, free
So you're
range.
gonna have chickens?
Yeah, well, I've got them right now, but they're up at my mom's. I couldn't get my chicken coop built on time this year, so they're around, and we will have chicken eggs out there as much as the weather will permit. They have kind of a slow season, but the other thing, local distribution hub for other producers. That's a big one. There are a lot of producers in this area that don't have the highway access or the frontage, and we're building a little. Can you hear me? I talk pretty loud, so maybe you
We can all hear you.
Okay,
We
but
want to preserve it for YouTube.
oh, for YouTube. Okay, so I've never been on YouTube, so this will be fun. But it's going to be a distribution hub. It's basically when you're driving and you come to that stop sign. I don't know if everyone knows what I'm talking about, but there's the little classy French door, and that building is basically where we want to sell local honey, local jams. We want to basically do. I think there's Robert out in Jerusalem Valley who has the olive trees. He's making his own olive oil. Like, I want to talk to all these people. There's Yerba Santa up in Lakeport as well, and they have wonderful cheese. I mean, it's just like getting everybody together. If you have a product that people want, let's get it on the shelves so that people can come and find what they need. So that's the idea out there, and we've got 400 square feet to fill, so hopefully we'll be able to fill every last inch of it, you know? So anyways, are there any other questions, or did I do a good job talking enough to answer? Okay, good.
There'll be plenty of opportunity.
One quick question, you said something about a beer garden?
Yeah, I want to do open microbrews. Kelseyville has a new brewery too, so that would be really neat if we could, offer all the microbrews and do like an outdoor beer garden and have a little hangout spot, you know. And we got nice weather out here, so yeah, it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be great. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I think Kecia single-handedly will draw the people out from Napa and Sonoma over here with all of her wonderful stuff, the beer gardens and the farming, and as we'll find out, a few other things going on here. Just one comment. In France, they've been doing the commissioning private people to farmers for years, where a cooperative of 50 to 100 people in Paris will contract with farmers 100 miles outside of Paris for all of their produce. And so it's finally coming here. It's great to see. So our next speaker is Laurence, and she is essentially the organizer of the farmers market in Coyote Valley Plaza, which has been developed by Ken Porter. And she's going to talk about what they're doing and hopefully what they're going to be doing in the future. And she has some handouts here as well.
So we should get together.
Yes, I think so too.
Because, yeah, I do the farmer's market at the Plaza. And I did it back in 2009 was when we started and got all the local farms and to participate. And at the beginning, it starts out really great. And there's, it starts slow and then it builds. And they rely on the customers to come down and participate. And then if the customers can't come or don't come, then they don't want to come. And it's kind of a catch-22. And our location is off the beaten path. So it's not quite as, accessible like yours. And Hardesters is always booming, and there's always traffic in and out. And people say, well, why don't you go over there to Hardesters? And we have so much space over there, and we also have lots of empty suites that are available. So it seems like if we can, like you're saying, if we can get everybody together instead of branching out to all these little, markets that crop up, that we can do it together. And I like to do it as a trade. I don't even charge vendors. I mean, I think people don't really know, how it's structured, and maybe, I have heard prices, you know, sometimes it's a little, they say, well, it's a little bit more expensive than you can get, but, I mean, the quality is uncomparable when you get fresh. I mean, the tomatoes and everything, the flavors are just, you know, much more better to me in, you know, just from the farm, like you say. So, and yeah, I had some goat cheese, and I like to have it be like an activity for kids. When we first started out, I had a jumpy, and I did horseback rides. Owen Ranch came over, and they participated, and then there's, you know, I try to mainly get the local people, so I do have the olive oil and the honey and stuff like that, and we have eggs too. And so yeah, I also work for the Plaza, and I think that it would be great to have a post office in the Plaza. We have lots of space there, and it seems like, or even a pack and mail. I mean, my boss is Kip Porter, and he's willing to, you know, he really wants to see those types of services for our community, things that we don't have to drive to Middletown or Clear Lake to get. And then, of course, the restaurant, we're really working hard to get a new restaurant in because I think variety would be nice. And I'm from the South, and my dad has a restaurant, it's called a Meat and Three, and it's basically a choice between a few different, you cook like 3 or 4 meats, and then you pick one meat and 1 or 2 vegetables. And it's a set price. And it's more a home-style family cooking, you know. And Greenview has improved their menu and their quality, but I think that like not necessarily another pizza place would be nice, something that's a little bit of a variety, or even an ethnic, another, you know, something different. So if anybody has any ideas or, you know, and things, activities for children, I'd love to see some more types of things for kids to do, teenagers, with a place for them to go. And we have the space. We would like to maybe host Sober Grad. We talked about rubbing it off and like getting some activities for the kids to do there that night. So we're open to community events, anything that anybody wants to do, the Chamber of Commerce, mixers and things like that. And if you guys have any ideas, then come my way. I'll give you guys, I have a few, I don't know if I have enough for everyone, but I'll just kind of pass it around. Does anybody have any questions about the market or Plaza?
I have one comment.
Yeah.
Mike Thompson, our congressman, is going to be giving a talk on Monday evening. He would be a good person to talk to about trying to get a post office branch here.
Oh, okay.
Because it has to start at that very high level.
I know,
It's
right.
very difficult at closing the post office. But
Right.
I agree with you 100% that there should be a post office here where there's 6,000 people.
Right, or a pack and mail, I think would be successful.
So if you can attend his town hall meeting on Monday night, he probably can give you some pointers as to how to get that done.
That'd be great. Yes.
Are you connected with the farmers market in Middletown?
No, but we talked, and what was her name again? And I think Barbara maybe, but she passed along vendors that a lot of times people always ask me, well, why don't you have more vendors, and why don't you have more